Do you suck at automotive wiring? Wiring can be intimidating, but I promise you, it's a lot easier than you think. And I'm going to teach you guys using my daughter's toys. Before we start, I need to explain a simple circuit. You need a power source, you need a load device, you need to be able to power this load device by connecting a power wire to it, because electricity flows from positive to negative. This load device is going to need a ground. Once you complete this circuit, which is a circle, you power on the fan, or whatever your load device is. You can also have it be a switch. It could be a pressure switch, a temperature switch, or a physical switch that you can touch with your finger or your foot. So that is your basic circuit before we get too crazy. We're going to pretend this is a 12-volt car battery. My daughter's microphone, we're going to pretend it's an input because you can speak into it. This is the speaker. This is going to be considered an output. This is my daughter's leapfrog, and we're going to pretend it's a ECU on a car. The battery powers the ECU. ECU could power the input, and it can power an output. Your ECU will make decisions on what it hears from your input devices. And then it'll tell your output devices to do something. But these devices need to be powered. We will give power to the ECU and ground to the ECU. Every device needs a power and a ground. You need 12 volts to power a sensor. Sometimes you need 5 or 8 volts to power a sensor. So for this scenario, we're just going to keep it simple. We're going to make it a 12 volts. This guy has 12 volts, but like I said, everything needs a ground. Your ECU is listening to the microphone and making decisions about what it's hearing from this guy. Once it makes decisions, it needs to tell somebody to do something. So this ECU will decide and tell this output device to turn on the fan or spark plug. To do that, you need, again, a power and a ground. Sometimes it can be a 5-volt power instead of a 12-volt power. Sometimes it could have a ECU input wire for the ECU to make decisions off of. Some devices need an ECU output to tell it when to fire. So now let's swap these devices out and put real car parts in here. Here we have the car battery, a cam position sensor, an ECU, and a part of a coil pack and a spark plug. Your cam position sensor is going to get power and ground and an ECU input to tell the ECU where the engine is during its rotation. The ECU is going to make decisions and is going to give power or ground to tell the spark plug at what point during the revolution or the rotation of the engine should that spark plug fire in the cylinder. And that is your basic theory of how electrical wiring works in a car.